Hey guys, it's J Dill here and thank you for tuning in. A different style of video today, but I hope you enjoy it. And to all new people watching this, hey, subscribe to the channel. Okay guys, so today I want to talk about the rise of magic realism, predictive programming and Operation Bluebeam. Now this is something I've really wanted to talk about for a very long time and I haven't had the chance to. So get your tinfoil hats on, strap yourself in, and let's get conspiracy. So we're seeing the rise of the so-called magic realism genre, such as Stranger Things, The Leftovers, Orphan Black and the 4400. But for the purposes of today, we're going to be talking about The Leftovers and the 4400. So these two programs both focus on the fact that people just disappear in a rapture style, in basically rapture style, but nobody really knows why and where they went and what happened. Now if you haven't seen The Leftovers, it's made by HBO. It's a great program. I'd encourage you all to watch it. But what happens is one day there's a cataclysmic event internationally, globally, and what happens is everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people disappear, including babies out of a womb and children. Some people are left and some people have gone, and nobody knows where they have gone. Now, with the 4400, we also see a similar story, apart from people who have gone missing are just coming back. Now, what we are seeing is predictive programming. Now, if you guys don't know, whenever there is something that is going to be happening, about 10 years before it happens, we see in film and we see in television the predictive programming. For example, before the Twin Towers went down, we saw many films about airplanes being hijacked, airplanes going into buildings, Russian terrorists, Arab terrorists, and 10 years later the Twin Towers happen. It's called predictive programming, and it's very effective because television and film, specifically Hollywood, has ties to not only the prison industrial complex but also the military industrial complex. Where do you think they get their stories from? The truth is actually stranger than fiction. Now, how this relates to Operation Bluebeam is the fact that Operation Bluebeam is an operation in which there is going to be mass deception, and the mass deception is going to usher in the New World Order. Now, Operation Bluebeam has 7 stages. Now, one of the main stages is, what is going to be happening is there's going to be a rapture style event in which Christians are made to think that Jesus has come back down. People are going to disappear, and Jesus Christ and all other of the 3 main religions, the Godhead, the God figure, is going to be projected on a hologram globally, internationally, to everybody, and everybody is going to think this is a religious event. What is also going to happen is there may possibly be a fake false flag UFO invasion. Now, with the New World Order, you often see people hedging their bets. You see 2 or 3 different outcomes. So what we may see is a fake alien invasion. And we see a lot of films about that, Mars Attacks, Independence Day in the 90s, getting us used to the idea that we could potentially be invaded by other life forms, by the rise of UFO websites. Now, what we could also have is, if you're religious, you'll know that in the end times there is apparently going to be a rapture style attack, in which people go missing, people disappear, and that Jesus Christ comes back and fights the Antichrist. They also believe something very similar in Islam. Now, for people who are religious, what will happen is they will think that this is, their God, their Christ-like figure coming back. They will be totally taken in by this. They'll be totally taken in by the potential staged false flag alien invasion. And what that will do is that will usher in the Messiah. But the Messiah isn't really the Messiah. It's the Antichrist, which will implement this full New World Order system. Now, what we are seeing on TV and film is really scary and really showing a sign of the times, is because these programs are openly going over the process of what may happen in a rapture style attack. And when we see something on screen, we know that it is programming us and conditioning us to accept that it may happen. Now, let me go through the stages of Operation Bluebeam. Now, the goals of the New Age movement, under which the United Nations operates right now, are the implementation of a new world order. Now, if you think the New World Order is conspiracy, I urge you to think again. George W. Bush has sat there, he's talked about implementing the New World Order, and David Rockefeller has openly spoken about his book and how he's ushering in the New World Order. The New World Order is not a lie. It is happening. It all started in 2000 after the collapse of the Twin Towers, an inside job. However you think that happened, there's three different theories. One theory is that it was a hologram and it didn't happen at all. It was a hologram illusion. Another theory is that it was drones that went into the Twin Towers and it wasn't actually planes. And another theory is that it was a demolition. Explosives were placed under it. I'm not sure which one I believe, but I definitely believe it was one of the three. So the New World Order is about an international army, an international police force, a World Bank for the economy, a world government under the UN, a World Conservatory Bank for wilderness preservation around the world. So all these new green movements, apparently this global warming faff. The world 7 races classifications for all human slaves who will fulfill predetermined work tasks, whether they agree with it or not. The world concentration headquarters of the United Nations for those who will not accept the new system will be placed in prisons and work camps and re-education camps, which we have seen in China. I personally know a woman in China who had to escape China because she was against the Communist Party and they put her in a re-education prison. I kid you not. And then the World Agriculture Food Supply Control, which will control food and vitamin supplies around the world. Now, we're seeing this happen more and more. We're seeing this happen, at an unprecedented speed. And it's very, very scary. Now, this actually ties in with all the dystopian films we are seeing, such as the Hunger Games, such as a Divergent series. And the thing about the Hunger Games, which is incredibly scary, is the fact that people are all placed in zones. Similar to London, we have zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, and so on. And they are made to do these poxy jobs, and they are under the rule of these oppressive, awful rulers who live a life of luxury. But yeah, us mere mortals, us normal folk are basically nothing more than slaves. And we are seeing this dystopian film everywhere, and it's incredibly worrying. Now, the first step of Operation Bluebeam is the breakdown of all archaeological knowledge. So what that means is earthquakes are going to be set up in precise locations, and what we're seeing with the rise of ISIS is we're seeing them absolutely going for it and knocking down so many historical sites, because if you don't know your history, then you don't know the future. These same people have been in power since the beginning of time, these same 12 main bloodlines. And what they are doing is this has been done before, and we have risen against it. So what happens when you destroy history is you don't know how to beat history, because in order to know what to do, you have to study history and you have to look at how people got out of it and what the outcome was. So you see ISIS destroying so many historical sites in Syria, Iraq, Mesopotamia, the original start of civilization. Very spiritual and very amazing places that hold the secrets to the key of humanity. Now, the second stage of Operation Bluebeam will be a gigantic space show with 3-dimensional optical holograms and sounds. So what that will be a laser projection of multiple holographic images to different parts of the world, each receiving a different image according to the predetermined religion. and the faith. And what will happen is we will hear a God's voice. It will speak in all different languages. And what will happen? It will be happening from an advanced computer fed with a minute psychophysiological particulars based on studies of anatomy and electromechanical composition of the human body. Now, what will happen is these computers, these voices will talk to us directly, so we think we are having a spiritual experience, but it's fake, it's not real, it's a mass deception. Now, there'll be two different aspects of the space show. Now, the holographic images will be used as a simulation of the ending. During all the nations will be shown all the scenes and prophecies. Now, these deliberately staged events will show the world the new Christ, the new Messiah, no matter what religion you are. And what that will mean is the immediate implementation of the new world religion. So there won't be diversity. There won't be all the different religions we have, which makes the world great, because all different paths lead to God, lead to the Creator. That's what I believe. I'm not religious per se, but I do believe that there is a creator. I do believe in God. I believe in good and evil forces out there, but I do keep an open mind. So there won't be the diversity. There'll be a one world religion, and enough truth will be fostered upon an unsuspecting world to hook them into the lie. Even the most clever people will believe this. Now, you know, if you go to Islam, if any of you have read the Quran, I have read the Quran, I have read most of the holy books, apart from the Torah. I'm working on that one right now. And what it says is that Antichrist will come and he will say that he can make it rain, and he will make it rain, and people will believe he is a Messiah. Now, guys, we have to remember, they control the weather. They control the earthquakes. They control all of it. So anyone proclaiming to be God by showing you weather control, it's bullshit. Because we can control the weather through HAARP, through geoengineering. Why do you think that the earth is so fucked? Because they are messing around with the force field, with the electromagnetic frequencies. So just be aware that that is something they may use. Now, the third step of Bluebeam will be, and it goes along with the telepathic and electronically augmented two-way communication, where waves, radio waves, ELF, VLF and LF waves will reach into a person from within his or her own mind, conveying each of them that their own God is speaking to them from the depths of their soul. Now, this is really, really scary. That they can actually make you feel like you're having this, you know, one-way talk with the Creator. Now, the reason why they've been able to do this sort of technology is because satellites and rays are fed from the memories of computers they have stored in massive data about everybody on Earth, the languages, and the rays will interlace with natural thinking to form what will cause artificial thought. This technology, it goes back all the way to the 70s, where the brain's been compared to a computer. Information's fed and it's processed. You know, they can transplant brains. You know, you have the film Lucy, in which her brain is uploaded onto a computer. It's a form of mind control, and that is where the program Stranger Things comes in, which is getting mind control out there to the masses. The masses don't realize that mind control is real. Mind control happened, and it still continues to happen now. It went underground, but it is still going on now. Now, the fourth step of Operation Bluebeam will be NASA. So if you know a little bit about NASA, they are nothing more than a fast. Now, what this fourth step will mean is there will be a universal supernatural manifestation with electronic means, and it contains three different orientations. One is to make mankind believe that an alien invasion is about to occur at every major city in order to provoke each major nation to use its nuclear weapons in order to strike back. And this way the UN court will require all those nations who launched nuclear weapons to disarm when they know the invasion to have shown to be false. So what that means is all nation states will end up disarmed. And this is what we see with the gun control in America. They do not want people to disarm. Now, guys, I am not a fan of guns. I do not believe in guns. I think it's disgusting. But we have to understand that in America, guns have been an integral part of their cultural and social history, right or wrong. So you can't suddenly put the rights in, you know, to bear arms and then take the guns away. It is not right, and we know why they're doing it. They're not doing it to prevent gun control. They're doing it because they want us to be defenseless. And right now in the UK, many Americans don't know this. For all the Americans out there, shout out to all the Americans. What you don't realize is right now it's illegal to carry a knife, it's illegal to carry pepper spray. So most of the time we are absolutely defenseless. We get into big trouble if someone burgles our house and we beat them down. You know, we can end up going to jail. That's how corrupt this justice system is. It's topsy-turvy, it's upside down, it's bullshit. Now, also, let's get into the dictatorship. The goal of a dictatorship is to control everyone on the planet without exception. This happened in Nazi Germany. It's happened before and it can happen again. And what we are seeing with, you have the riots in Ferguson and you have a curfew, you have martial law being imposed. It's to test it. If anything happens in a different country, don't ever think because of your Western imperialist privilege that you are safe from this, because you are not. Now, this fourth stage is going to be about a mix of the electronic supernatural forces, and it's going to be about implantation of the microchip. In order to buy and sell, in order to do everything, you have to have this microchips, and these waves are what is going to allow artificial thought. And in my opinion, it's going to allow people, like the film In Time with Justin Timberlake, people to be killed remotely, like with a drone. And this time, it is inside you. Now, around this time, there will be a massive hysteria, madness, suicide. People will want to find death, but they won't be able to. Now, after the night of the 1,000 stars, the worldwide populations will be ready for new Messiah to re-establish order and peace at any cost. Because what will happen through Operation Bluebeam is there will be chaos. People will be killing each other. There'll be murder. It'll be crazy. Even worse than it is now. And so what will happen is people will be begging for this Messiah to come in. And in order for the Messiah to come in, we will have to accept this microchip. And it's at this point we have to say no. No to the microchip. Now, what we're seeing already in London is the Oyster card system. You can no longer pay cash on buses. We are a largely cashless society. We now have chip and pin. BuzzFeed did a video. BuzzFeed, by the way, you know, #1 protagonist on the web promoting the New World Order, did a video about a man who got an implant into him. He was paying with the implant. He was opening doors with the implant. We are seeing it more and more. Experiments on videos. People with an implant. It's being shown to us. And what they'll do, what they always do, is they lure us in. We're like a mouse with the cheese. My God, we are so thick. Anything that we see, we take it. We have to be strong and we have to say no. No to the microchip. No to, they will say it will keep our data safe. They will say it will keep us away from fraud. But in actual fact, what they'll be able to do is take all our money away from us at the wipe of a button. And this is why what we need to do to fight back is crucial. Stop paying with card. Don't do it anymore. Use cash. Use cash as much as you can. They are wanting to get cash out. Once we see a cashless society, we are fucked. And we are on the way there now. The New World Order is already gaining momentum. It's already half of it's in place. But in order to stop this full-on NWO totalitarian police state, which is happening, what we need to do is we need to pay with cash. Fuck this cashless society. That is what we must do. We must not accept, we must not pay with contactless. We must tell the banks we don't want to pay with contactless card, that we want chip and pin, because you can request to the bank that you don't get a contactless card because they are not safe. And we need to, and we must educate, we must keep our eyes open, and we must understand that there are forces here which want a mass deception. We must be aware of what's going on. We must step out of the matrix. Keep paying in cash. Pay with chip and pin. Do not use the contactless. And spread the truth and let people know what is going on. Guys, we need to take our personal power back. Psychological warfare, the aim of this is to demoralize, you know, the opponent's morale at all costs. We cannot be demoralized, and we have to remember that there's more of us than there is of them. We have to take our power back, and we have to fight these fuckers, because us people, we want a nice world full of peace and harmony. We don't want murder. We don't want evil. We want a nice world. We must stand up to these evil, controlling, cruel, globalist cabal of cretins, non-human or human, whatever you believe they are, and we must stand up for our rights. We are on a slippery slope, but we are not at the end of the road. We have the power to stop this from happening. So use discernment and focus, and do not believe the bullshit. Keep your eyes open. It's predictive programming, which we are seeing time and time again. Now, guys, I would urge you to please share this video. Open other people's eyes to what is going on in the media, in the world. Please take care, and God bless. And to all my subscribers and all the people out there that don't believe in God, keep your eyes open.